everyone. Today I'm going to discuss some of the ideas on how to make our children speak in English inside the classroom. The best strategy for a teacher to make all the children to speak in English is to have a meaningful discussion in the classroom. A good teacher is the one who speaks less and makes the children speak more. In order to improve the communication skills, we should allow meaningful interactions in the classrooms. So how do we do it? Once the topic has been taught, divide your children into many groups. Not a large group. The groups can be 4 to 5 children. Divide them and make a major 2 groups, and one group can speak for and other group can speak against a given topic for discussion. Give them ample time to talk among themselves, to discuss, and then arrive at a conclusion. After that, they can present it to the other group. This fosters critical thinking skills as well as improve their listening skills and also politely disagreeing with the others. The group discussion activity is one of the main activities that can be implemented in a class so that the children learn to speak in English. The next activity a teacher can implement in the class is the role play. Role play, students pretend in taking roles. There should be a pre-knowledge that has to be given to the students by the teacher. For example, a teacher can ask a student, "You are John, and you are going to visit a doctor. That yesterday you had stomach pain, okay? And one more person is acting as a doctor, the other person as a patient. Okay, now get inside the clinic and start conversing." This sort of situation, real life situation, can be given to many students. Okay, 2 friends are meeting after a long time. Okay, so how will they converse in English, right? Or you have lost your purse. You're going to the police station and he is the inspector of police, and these kind of real life situations can be given, and one person is acting as a role of a doctor, other as a patient, or one person giving as a complaint, other person is taking the complaint. Role play is one of the very good activity that can be implemented to improve the communication skills. The next activity that can be implemented in the classroom is to have simulations. Simulations are more or less like role plays, but here you enact well. Like if a person is given, you play the role of a singer. She brings the microphone and she sets the stage. It is little bit more elaborate than the role play. So simulations can be used to make children speak in English. The next activity that can be given to children is brainstorming. So what is brainstorming? You present something, you present a problem or something and ask for ideas. Okay? Ask for ideas, to the children. This is the problem, so come out with an ideas. In brainstorming, you give children a fixed amount of time. Maybe you give them 10 minutes of time to think for themselves, and another 10 minutes you get their feedbacks or ideas on, say, how to solve a particular problem. So by which everybody gets a chance to speak, to present their ideas in the classroom. So brainstorming is another activity that can be implemented in the class. The very next important activity or interesting activity is that of storytelling. So invite the children to come and narrate a story. Story can be, they would have already prepared, or on the go they can come and tell a story that they have heard from their grandmas, grandpas, or from their parents, or they read from a book. Okay, this kind of activity also improve their communication skills. Not only storytelling, some can sing, some can crack a joke, tell a riddle. So this activity also promotes speaking in English inside the classroom. And the next activity the teacher can carry out inside the class is to have an interview. Okay, students can interview each other, just like in TV when we see the morning talk shows or interviews. Students can interview each other. So in that way, one student asks a lot of questions from the other one answers. Okay, interviews are another technique to make children speak in class. Another activity that the teacher may carry out is to have a reporting. She can give every day, morning, read the newspapers and come and report of yesterday's news. Students can be given a variety of reporting activities, like one student will be given reporting on what are the domestic news or the international news, local news, sports news, weather news. They can come and report what was yesterday's sports events that happened across the world and present, about IPL matches, hockey, cricket, swimming, etc., etc., or the international events across many different countries that can be presented. So reporting or news analysis is one of the activity that will also encourage students to speak in the class. The next activity that a teacher can give to their students is to give them a picture card, and the students have to talk about that picture. It's called picture describing. So we know that picture composition is an activity given for writing activities. Similarly, describing a picture can be one of the most effective activity that can be given in the classroom for making the children speak in English. And one more interesting activity is to give an object to the children and make them talk about that object. Okay, give them a fruit and they have to talk about the fruit, or give them a mobile phone and they have to talk about that mobile phone. You can also time it. Maybe they have to talk for half a minute, 1 minute, and so forth, and so on and so forth. In this way, they are encouraged to talk about, describe things, and speak to the audience. Let me summarize all the points that we have discussed to make our children speak in English inside the classroom. The first idea that we discussed is about discussions, having a meaningful group discussion inside the class. And the second idea we talked about is role playing. The third one is the simulations, and we talked about picture describing and talking about an object, and also reporting, news analysis and news reporting, and interviewing. So these are some of the things we discussed today. Hope it will be very useful for all the teachers to use these methods inside the classroom, so that the children learn to speak in English and very quickly they are conversant in English.